Greetings everyone, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. I think last time we were sort of just jumping around all over the place and we learnt about boxy and non-boxy down here. Let's leave that for now. Let's keep jumping back and forth between things. What was going on over here? What was this area? Shape bank and mismatch. I guess mismatch is the main thing here. So every shape has to be different. Oh, does that mean there's going to be one where we actually have to use all of these? They're all 5 and it's 20, yes. Okay, so we have to use all of these. Since they all have to be different, we have to use each one. Now what can go where is the next question. Like, what could this feasibly be? Can't be the P. Can't be the L. Could be the zigzag. Can only be the zigzag. Okay. So then what about you? At least to here. Can't be the zigzag. Oh, I've seen it. There we go. Neat. Like, you can't really help yourself from, like, seeing the... Like, I was thinking about this, because I was thinking about, like, oh, you know, what does it mean to, like, vibe solve or whatever? I think it can sort of depend. In some situations, what's happening is that you're effectively, in your head, doing a bunch of deductions one after another. Like, you're visualizing a shape, then going, well, there's only space for this shape next to it, and then there's only this space for this shape after it, and then you've got the whole solution. Like, you've basically done a bunch of silent deductions. But then there's another version of that where you, well, I mean, okay, actually, vibe solving. I say this isn't vibe solving. This is just like vibe solving is more where you just kind of go, well, it kind of feels like that's going to go there, so I'll just fill that in and see what happens. Whereas, okay, so the things I was talking about is more like not basically taking every single minute step in what you notate out. The thing I was going to say, the second thing, is like when you don't do it like that, but you sort of just like, as a whole, like holistically, you see the entire thing laid out. It does feel like those are two slightly separate things. Are they though? Or is that just the same thing, but you're like barely consciously acknowledging that you're following the steps? That's kind of interesting to think about. Like, is the whole thing just appearing in my head at once, or is like a shape being added and then a shape being added, and it's just like imperceptible to me that I'm imagining them all being placed? That could get kind of deeply philosophical about how the mind works, I guess. Anyway, like, I guess the reason I was thinking there's a bit of a difference there is because in the case where you sort of see the whole thing, you are actually using uniqueness there. And there have been lots of comments on my videos saying, oh, you can use uniqueness because it was said in the message at the top. I think I've explained thoroughly in the replies why I prefer to not use uniqueness. But if you want to use uniqueness for solving the puzzles, I'm sure that's fine. The game does tell you about it, so you can, if you want to use it, just do it. That's totally fine. Anyway, but like if I visualize the whole thing, then effectively I've just like seen an answer. And if I'm assuming that the solution might not be unique, like, because that's when you solve it without using uniqueness, you're effectively solving it as though you don't know it's unique, which means you have to go through a series of deductions to eventually prove that it's unique. And so if I just like see a solution, but I haven't deduced my way to it, well, actually, that could just be one of, like in theory, if it weren't necessarily unique, it could be one of many possible solutions that I could visualize. And so that feels like a visualization that I'm not happy to just like accept just because I've seen it, as opposed to a visualization where it feels like, well, what I've actually done is just visualized each deductive step without marking in the little intricate details as we go through that process to get to the other thing. Does that make sense? I kind of went all over the place there, but like, yeah, like basically I'm trying to compare two situations. One, both of those situations are situations where it looks like from the viewer's perspective that I just suddenly go, okay, I'm just gonna fill it all in and it's done. And I haven't taken the individual steps to get there. But the two different situations are one where in my head I feel like I'm actually making the same deductions I would make if I were just drawing it out bit by bit, and then that all happens in my head and I go, okay, now I'll just fill it in. And then the other is where I just like see the solution as a whole, haven't taken any deductive steps to get there, and that one I feel more comfortable with, because that effectively does assume that uniqueness, that visualized solution must be unique. Anyway, maybe it's worth me talking about the uniqueness a bit more, because I've replied in the comments, but I still think not everybody fully gets it, and I'm still going to get comments on like later videos. What video is this now? It must be like 20 something. I don't know. Like I said, I've been recording a lot. So I guess, oh gosh, it's too much context. It's too much context. And it did take me a while to like, I remember when I was learning about logic puzzles, because I knew about Sudoku and stuff, but then I was like joining the Thinky community and was encountering more and more logic puzzle stuff, and I dabbled in it a bit myself, and in doing that learned a bit more about like the practices of designing logic puzzles. And like, I'm not super deep into that space, but I mean, I do run the Thinky Games website where we have Thinky Dailies, which is basically logic puzzles, and have been, you know, assisting in reviewing and writing rules and all that kind of stuff for those Thinky Dailies puzzles. Anyway, so like I do feel like I have some understanding of the space, and of course, I mean, it's worth noting. Can I get to the credits in this game? Are the credits like already visible? They are. Okay, so it is worth pointing out that for Thinky Dailies, Elliot Grant, Martin Ender, Nat Allison all worked on it. Okay, so like there's people who've worked on this game that are also on the Thinky Dailies team. So just mentioning that. So like I've worked with these folks, and I also like know how they think about puzzle design and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, like obviously I can't speak on their behalf, but anyway, what I do know that is in the logic puzzle community, the way it's approached, and this is the way that I like it being phrased, is that effectively it's the role of the player to prove that the solution is unique, right? Okay, so puzzles are absolutely designed to have unique solutions, and if somebody doesn't design if somebody designs a puzzle with non-unique solutions, usually that's considered like to kind of go against the expectations of the logic puzzle world. So yes, 100% they are designed to have unique solutions, but they are also designed to be solved without assuming that they have a unique solution. Like the fact it's got a unique solution is not one of the rules. In this game makes it a little bit fuzzy by having that hint that pops up at the top that says they do have unique solutions. And I think they've done that just because they want to kind of be like, yeah, they have unique solutions. If you want to use that fact, go for it. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just being a bit more flexible, but also maybe it gets people who are playing this who haven't thought about this stuff to think about like, well, why is it important that they have unique solutions, etc. So yeah, but if you were to go find some Nurikabe puzzles, Slitherlink, Square Jam, like whatever, like just go find some logic puzzles and read the rules. It does not say anywhere in there that there is a unique solution. It's not part of the rule set, even if it is part of the design process of designing the puzzles. And the reason it's part of the design process for designing the puzzles is because these puzzles are created to have a deductive path to get to the solution. Well, actually, there's multiple factors. One very practical factor is that traditionally these puzzles were on paper, and therefore there had to be like a thing at the back of the book that will tell you what the correct solution was, and therefore it made sense to have unique solutions, right? There's a very practical reason for puzzles to have solutions, because if there were many solutions for a puzzle, the answer bit at the back of the book would have to like show them all or whatever. So there's like a kind of practical reason, but the other, and I think more important reason really, is that these puzzles have been designed to have that deductive process, where deduction means a kind of like a logical inference of the form, like if X then Y, like basically, if this is true, if this is the case, then this means that this must be the case. And if you follow a series of deductions like that by placing lines on a grid or shading them in or whatever, you are guaranteed to end up with a unique solution at the end. If there isn't a unique solution, then at some point during that process, you are having to pick from two options, and that isn't a pure deduction. You're not saying I'm shading this cell because, you're not saying I must shade the cell because of this other thing. You're saying, well, I'm going to shade this thing because it seems like I could shade this one or another one, and both would work, which isn't a deduction. And so these puzzles are all designed to have around having a deductive path to the solution. Because of that, not because of that, that inherently means there is going to be a unique solution. And then, what else do you say on this topic? And so then you can say, okay, well, so if it's guaranteed that there is, if the puzzle's designed to have a deductive path to get to the solution, and it's guaranteed, so therefore it's guaranteed that there is a unique solution, then why can't you use that fact that there is a unique solution as part of the solving process? And again, I'm not trying to, if you want to solve it by assuming there's a unique solution, that's totally fine. But the arguments for why you should stick with the deductive path that doesn't assume uniqueness is that, I think the key one for me is that the designer has, typically, it is the kind of general consensus in the logic puzzle design community that the designers are setting out a deductive path that they think is interesting. Like, there is something along that path that is interesting, and if you use uniqueness, then you potentially are skipping out something that they had set out for you. It's pretty rare that you'll see a logic puzzle where one of the steps in the path is to use the uniqueness to solve it. And if that does occur, then it will say in the rules. There are some puzzles out there where in the rules it will say the solution is unique, and in which case then that's the designer saying to you, yes, you should use uniqueness to solve this. But in the vast majority of cases, the rules do not say that, and therefore, the deductive path that is designed for you is not meant to include using uniqueness. And so I'm following the deductive path so that I get to see the interesting paths that have been laid out for me, the interesting ideas. There have been some puzzles, I would say, where I could have gone for a more I could have just looked at it and gone, well, there's clearly an asymmetry here, so because of that asymmetry, it must go this way and that way because of the unique solution, and then the thing is solved. Or I guess more common is the opposite. This is a symmetric solution, and therefore, because it's symmetric, there's only going to be the actual answer is going to be symmetric as well. But what was I going to say on that subject? But in those puzzles, I've ended up finding another interesting way of working out the solution, the path to the solution, and I'm glad that I did that. So yeah, this is I guess that's the big reason. Another reason is that if you don't do that, but this is more an argument against vibe solving rather than using uniqueness, but an argument against vibe solving is that I think it leads to way more dead ends and frustration, where you're just trying stuff and it doesn't quite fit, and you change the thing and you move it and that also doesn't quite fit. So my preference, it's just my preference, I'm not saying everybody else has to play the game the same way, is to, one, follow the purely deductive path that doesn't assume uniqueness, and two, well, it's not two, it's the same one. Basically, in doing that, not make any guesses or anything like that. We've seen that there have been some puzzles, even recently with these ones over here, where I had to do a little bit of okay, I'm going to put some stuff in just to try and visualize this. I'm pretty certain that the designers of these puzzles have thought about deductive ways to do it that don't involve putting stuff in to I mean, I guess there's an interesting thing of like, well, when is putting in some marks a guess versus just a tool for visualizing? And that especially becomes like particularly fuzzy in a game where like you can just like erase it, like on paper. I mean, I guess you can erase stuff on paper as well, but typically on paper, what they would say is like, once you put a mark in, you should only put a mark in if you know that it's necessarily true. Whereas here, because it's like so easy to just get rid of stuff, it does work as a visualization tool, like as a note-taking tool, even though there is a separate note-taking thing, of course. So, like, I mean, maybe you could argue that you should only use the specific note-taking tool for making notes here and never use the shading in to visualize stuff. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I like I'm allowing myself for some of these puzzles where I'm finding it hard to find a deductive path, and I'd rather like try and visualize stuff. I'm finding it acceptable for me to like just put in some like shade in a few things to help me visualize something, and that definitely helped over there. And maybe it'll help in future puzzles as well. Anyway, that's a long ramble about various logic puzzle things. But maybe it's helped explain things, although it's probably just made some people go, but this and that, and but the game said it has unique solutions. I know it said it had unique solutions. I kind of wish, because I 100% know that like Elia and Martin and Nat are like, and the other designers are like on the same page when it comes to like logic puzzle design, because they're like even more deeply in that space than I am, and I've learned it from them. And I just kind of wish that in that hint it had said like the puzzles have unique solutions, but you're not expected to use this in order to solve them, or something like that. Just so that I didn't have people in the comments telling me, I think you're expected to use it. Anyway, maybe they'll update the game. Maybe I should complain to them. Just to stop the comments. Okay, anyway, let's go. Shape bang, mismatch. 20, of course. It's the same thing again. Where's a good place to start? You could be a P, you can't be that. You could be that, but then... yeah, things wouldn't fit over here. So does that make you that? I think that makes you that. Oh, sorry, you could be a P as well. I mean, there's also instances like that where I just like have sort of forgotten what I just said, and I go, oh, it's going to be that then. I go, oh, actually, no, sorry, I said it could be a P shape as well. So it's either that or it's that. It's feeling like, I mean, it's feeling like is not a good deduction. What is a good deduction? I guess like another class of things to talk about here is like bifurcation, which is when you like, well, I know this could be a P, or I know it could be this long L shape, so I could just try them both and see if any of them hits a dead end. And both of those are like absolutely perfectly logical. Like doing that approach of like trying those two things out, that is a logical deduction. If you can like follow a thing for a while and then prove that that can't be correct, so then go back and then try something else, that is 100% like perfectly sound logic. Doesn't use uniqueness or anything like that. But it's another thing that's like in the logic puzzle design community is considered like, oh, well, ideally you shouldn't have to do that. And if a puzzle makes you do that, it's like maybe a sign that the puzzle could be better in some way, but usually puzzles, like people who are good at puzzle design, logic puzzle design, know to avoid those things. Oops, sorry. Okay. What about like what you could be? I think that could be an interesting question. I mean, there could be a P down here, I suppose. You could also be part of this U shape. Well, you could be part of that, but you wouldn't leave enough space. I mean, this is just a type of bifurcation that I'm doing right now. You could be the L shape, but Wouldn't leave enough space. That's not true. Would leave enough space for other things, but not for you. What's a good way into this? Well, okay, here's a good way into this. If we're coming up here, is this a good way into this? Well, except it does mean, so none of all these shapes are at most 3 by 3. Right? Which I think is relevant somehow. Oh no, I think I might have just seen the solution. That happens sometimes. Although actually, no, I don't think I did. I think I saw something else. We don't have a staircase here. We've got L. Okay. I keep accidentally imagining staircases, but we don't have a staircase. We've just got those. So if we, okay, a bit of bifurcation. If we were to do a P here, we'd have this section up here, which I think would then be difficult to fill in. By difficult, I mean impossible. In which case, this is totally going to be one where I just sort of see it at some point. And I can't help it. Yeah, I've seen it. Okay. There we go. I'm going to allow it. I'm allowing it. I think for ones like that where it's like fairly small and yeah, I couldn't see a good way of doing it without just seeing it. But again, like that was the version of seeing it where I was in my head doing a bunch of deductions. It was like, well, if that goes there, then that has to go there. But it was bifurcation in my head, effectively. But we'll allow it. Mismatch. So we can't have a 1. Ooh. So you are the 2. Necessary, because this also has to come out. So you're the 2. Since you've come out, you can't go down, so you must go this way. But you must also go this way. You can't go there, so somebody has to come out here as well. So you're a 3. Oh, isn't this a problem? How can these all be different? Oh, you're one shape. Yeah, cool. Cool. We'll make this a slightly longer video because of how long I just talked about random stuff at the start. 25. Mismatch, polynomial. Are there any that are the same? Yeah, okay, so those must be part of the same shape. So either this or that. There could be bonus things. In fact, we could probably figure out if there are bonus things. So it's 25. You're a 5. You're a 5. You're a 6. So we're at 16. And then with you, we're at 19. So there's 6 remaining after that. I mean, I guess we can do these two. There's only one way this can work, right? Like that. I believe. Yep. Is there only one way you could work as well? Oh, I guess it does also look like... I guess you could be that way. Yeah, I was thinking, would there be 3 trapped here? But I'm not sure. Okay, for you... I mean, I see a couple ways this could work, maybe. Or maybe not. Yeah, there are a couple. Like that and like that. I guess we can do this. Put the borders in. So there are going to be 6 left over after doing all this. So what's a good way of... I guess either way with this, there's going to be either 2 here or... Well, there's going to be 3 over here. For sure. But that's just going to happen regardless. Yeah, like if I put these shapes in, there's going to be 6 left over, so I don't really need to think about that, right? So instead, what do I think about? How they can all fit. Like, what's going to stop you being that way around versus that way around? That's an interesting question, actually. What is going to stop you from being that way around versus that way around? All regions must have different shapes. Oh, clever. I like it. It's to do with the regions that are left over. Oh, that's neat. See, that's the kind of thing that I would miss out if I just like vibe solved. This is clever. Okay, so like the regions that are left over in the gaps are what's going to be important here. I mean, I probably would have noticed. I would have like tried an answer and it would have had two regions that were the same. It's like, oh, that's why. So that's interesting. Okay. So for example, like if this were this way, it would leave necessarily an open space there. But that I guess is fine. There would be a 2 here. If it was this way, we'd have a 3 here instead. Okay, so it's that kind of stuff I need to work with. Is there 100% gonna be an empty space here? No, because it could be that way around. Yes, as I just said. Is there necessarily gonna be an empty space around you, like in your hole? If we do this, there's not. Well, if we do this, there is. If we do this, it depends whether this necessarily gets covered up. You can be... It's very hard to like visualize rotating and flipping the shape. You can be any of these 3 corners. If you're that corner, then it goes up and like that, in which case this space is empty. But then there's a single hole here. If you, I mean, I guess I can draw like this is what I was saying. And then that is the only way you could be that one. If you're that one, it doesn't work. Ooh, it might do if you're that one. It doesn't work because it'd have to go like that. So I think it can't be that one. So then you're that one otherwise, which would mean this, which again leaves 2 singles. Okay. Okay. So that leaves 2 singles, so that's not allowed. So you're this one, which means, like, what was it? This? Which means this is the single. Therefore, we can't leave a single up here. Cute. Okay, I see it. Which means you have to do this way and you have to do this way. Yay! Very nice. 3. Mismatch. Polyomino. Okay. Well... You are kind of interesting. You're going to stick out that far, but you can't go down that way. You can't go that way. So I guess you're going up and over the top. Oh, ooh, but you're here. I see. Wait, but you're there? Mismatch. Polyomino. Oh, yeah, I see. It's like, how is that possible? It's possible like that. Okay. I think that's the only way that's possible, because it can't be like this. Okay. So then you and you have to be connected. So this. This and this have to be connected. So like this. This has to be in here somehow. I think it can only be like this. This one's feeling easier than the other one, but I'm now going to have to look at these, aren't I? So we've got a 2 over here, a T-shape over here, which we don't have anywhere else. That's fine. So then whatever we leave over here using these 2. So it's either like this, which is a 3 and a 2, which is bad. So then it must be like this. Yeah. Oh no, we've got an L shape left over. Oh, but we can split things more. Yes. But the one with the 2 we can't split. So no, it is still this. When we split this somehow, we have a 1, we have a 2, which we can't split. A T shape, which we might as well leave as it is. So this becomes a... That doesn't work, does it? A 3 and a 1? It can't be 2 2s. A 1, but we've got a 1 up there. It can't be an L shape. That doesn't work. So, oh, hold on, I'm missing some options. I'm missing one option, which is it being down here. But once again, that becomes a 2. Wait, or I'm missing, no, this, but then that's a 2. Either way, there's a 2 there. So what can I do about this 2? Nothing. Because that definitely has to join to there. Have I missed an option that I didn't see? There wasn't any way for you to do this. Oh no, there was an option for you to do that. Ah, okay, I missed a thing. I missed that. Okay. And then that has to be like that. Does that end up working out? Looks like it does. Cool. Where now? 2. Precision 4. Precision 4 and mismatch. Okay, so what can we work out? So these are going to be part of like T shapes or L shapes or something. One of these is going to be a long one of them is going to be an L shape. So then the other two are S and T. I think yeah, I see what we're doing. That's probably a nicer way to notate that, but it's fine. It's fine. Two. Okay, these guys. Mismatch. Well, okay. So if this like goes down to here, I'm just doing this as notation for now, then there would be a region around here, and then this would end up being the same. Like if we did it for this, both of them, they'd end up being the same. So one of them is going to be a 1 at the top, and then the other one's going to go out in some way. Let's actually begin down here. So if we know there's going to be a 1 up there, and we know there's going to be a 2 up there, a 1 and a 2, then we know this must at least go to there. It could go further. This is interesting, yeah. So we can, without even putting those in, we can know that 1 and 2 are taken. Because one of them is going to be taken by this, and then the other one's going to be taken by this. So 2's taken, so this has to come out here. It can't go that way. But now these are the same, so one of them would have to do something different, but one of them might go into the thing and become... but if that goes into there, then that would be a 2 area, which it can't be. So, well, we also know that this is true. In fact, because we can't have a 2, because we know there's going to be a 2 up here somewhere. Yeah, you've got to go that way, and that makes that a 3. So then these can't be 3s, so you must continue. You must continue. You're going to continue so that you can be that shape. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. You're a 3 like that, and we're done. Neat. That was a nice deductive process. Uniqueness, restore the mismatch window. I just got an achievement called Uniqueness. In the video where I was talking for ages about uniqueness. That's funny. I mean, they've called it uniqueness because of the mismatch rule, meaning that all the shapes are unique. But I think it's also a reference to uniqueness in logic puzzles. It's a double meaning. Anyway, we can continue. What's this? It's a 3. Okay, mismatch. Well, that means none of these can lead into each other, right? Well, but you have to lead into each other. Okay, so... Oh, but you also do. How can you... Oh, these two are paired. That's how. How can that one lead into another one and that one lead into another? Well, they just lead into each other. Okay, there we go. That's a nice start. So then these must all go outwards. But some of them are a bit ambiguous about what outwards would mean, but these ones are fine. Okay. Then... So we've got a 2 already. There's still potential for a 1 somewhere if we need it. That's going to be easy to forget. But so then this has to go this way. So that's a 3. So then you have to go this way, but it can't be that because we've already got that shape. So it has to keep going. But we know this now needs to go somewhere. So this has to come out here as well. So that's you done. But we can't have a 2, so it must keep going. So that must be you done because this one's going to have to keep going as well. Okay, but you can't stop there because you're the same as that L shape, so you must keep going. This is cute. Oh, you can start coming this way now. You can't be a L shape like that. You can't be an L shape like that. You can be an L shape like that. And you're going to have to go this way. But you can't be a 2, so you must keep going. Some of these could join together. Ooh, is that something I'm missing? I might have like already screwed up somewhere. I don't think I have though. Although I'm now looking at this one going, actually, this one now can't work because it would be a 2. So yeah, I have messed up with you. Actually, I guess, no, I can't combine more than one of these. I think what I've messed up is that you have to join with somebody else, although is that even possible? I don't think that's possible. Yeah, it is. Is it? Yeah, it is. I still think most of what I did down here was true. So something's gone wrong with these ones. And maybe this. Like, I mean, these definitely can't be together. Because if they connect, then it's a 2. And then that's bad. This can't be a 2 because of you. So this must go this way. So this is definitely like this. You're like this. You're not able to join to you. But you also can't just be a 2. So you would have to continue. How am I dealing with you? Like, you can't go over the top of this and join to you, because then this one's stuck. It did have to be those 2 that joined, because they're the only 2 that can't go anywhere else, except to hit one of those things. How have I messed up here? I guess you don't have to go up, but you could connect to you, but then that isn't unique with this. That's the kind of thing I feel like I'm missing, but maybe I'm missing it somewhere else where I could have done it. But you surely have to be that shape. Yeah, absolutely. But you could be... you don't have to stop there. That's it. Okay, that's what I'm missing. I was thinking like, oh, then that shape's done. No. It can be a T shape. I see what's going on. So this can't be this shape, so it goes there. This has to be like this, and it can't be this, so it's going to have to go that way. Cool. All right. Got there eventually. I still think 2 of these might join. You go up, but you can't stop there. Well, now I don't think they join, because they're not going to be able to. You go up. I was going to say you're going to have to go here, but we still don't have a 1, and that totally could be the 1. You can't be a 2. Can you be a 3 like that? No. Can you be a 3 like that? No. So you're at least going to have to be a 4. But you can't be a T shape. You're going to be a P shape. Or are you going to be a 4S shape? I think you're going to be a 4S shape. And then you're this shape. Cool. That was a nice puzzle. I've got 3. Oh, there's a 6 down there. What's down here? 4. There's a 2 down there. Let's do that. Oh, mismatch and rose windows. Okay. This is probably going to end up belonging to you, but like this does need to come out this way. I don't know. This could belong to either of them. We'll find out later. They have to keep going. They have to keep going. This is intriguing. So you're obviously going to join that. You're obviously going to join that. Like, these are joining these reds. Like, there's no way they're getting to the other reds. So it's just a case of like, how do I then make them different to each other? You're going to have to get that red, but you could cut that way. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, you cut that way. Do that. There we go. Neat. 4, 3, 3. Let's do the 3. Mismatch and Palisade. I was going to say, since this has to come out of here, but it doesn't have to come out of here. That's not a puzzle where that's necessarily true. There's a dead end here and a dead end here. So, okay, we have a similar situation where one of these, like if they both do this, then we just have 2 2s. So one of these is a 1 and one of them's a 2. So 1s and 2s are gone again. Okay. Which means, like, for these 2, so that means this must come out, and so must that. So that has to be that shape. Okay. This must come out, and it must be a corner, so it must go this way. But that's already taken, so we must do this at least. 1s and 2s are already taken. Let's do this one. 2 is already taken. This has to turn. It can't be a 3, so it must... Oh, but it could go in here. That is allowed. One of these is still open for taking. This must be a different thing. It can't be a 2. It can be a 3. In which case, this does go in here. And that's you. And that's the single. So this is the double. And then you take everything else. Yay! Very nice process. That's why I do the deductive process. This is 3 here. Ooh, it's a big one. Mismatch, precision 5. Okay, well, there's all these things that gonna have to come out like this. So okay, so this is gonna be a like get a bunch of 4s ready, and then you'll have to see how to like make each one be a different kind of 5, I guess. These can't join, right? So let's go that way. So that's that 5. Okay, that one's done. Got a bunch of L shapes that are going to have to differentiate themselves. Okay. Now where to begin? Where to begin? We have a staircase already, so that can't go that way, so that you're that shape. So this must keep going up. It may now turn, or it may just be 5 long. Okay, what's next then? So now we've got that shape. That means you can't go there, so you must go there. So you're the big L. So you're the... What was I told this is? A Z shape? I think this is officially called a Z. Or a Z, I guess, if you're American. So now that those are gone, that's going to help me do another one somewhere. Can this one go forwards? I guess it can. There's nothing stopping us right now. But this one can't go down because it's a Z shape, so it has to go this way. So that means that one doesn't do that, it goes that way instead. Okay, now we've got this. We've got a new alcove here. These can't join. We'll probably end up with a P somewhere. It might be down here. We're going to have some that have like little branching bits as well. Okay, which one can I now say it must do this or it must do that? Like this one can't turn. Oh, so this one is the 5 long. Okay. This is a P shape here, isn't it? I mean, it at the very least has to go into there, and it has to go into one of these. It has to go into both of them, otherwise they're left over, so it's the P shape. Okay, so then you're this, you're a T shape. And then this. This, if it goes up, it would then have to turn, and it couldn't, or it would have to like stick out here, which I think it still could. I don't think we've done that shape yet. This is slightly, the mismatch rule is kind of weird because you do have to do a lot of like scanning, like, oh, have I done that shape already? It's not like clear locally whether you're making a mistake or not. You have to check everything. So if we do that, I think that does work out. We end up with a plus over here and one of those weird shapes that we've seen a few times. So you can't be that, but you could be like that, but then that's already taken, and that's already taken. So yeah, okay, so it's clear you are that. Oh, sorry, like that. Cool. Let's do a couple more if we can. There's another 3 here, mismatch. Well, so right now we could have 1s and 2s everywhere. So like these could be 1s. So like one of these could be, oh, one of them's going to have to be a 2 at least, but they could be a 3 together. Is the thing. So where can I say something a little bit different? Like, but again, that's true here as well. It could be like 1, 2, and a 3. Or it could be completely different. It could be like a T and a 1. So there's a few options. There's going to be somewhere where a 1 is necessary, right? I think is the idea here. Like, for example, whatever starts here, it's either a 1 or it's a 2. This isn't helping me make my point. Hold on, maybe it is. Like that would force a 1 up there. In one of these 2 spaces. In fact, because it's not unique, I could say it's definitely not that, but whatever. This would also force a 1 here, and a 2. This can't go up. And then that would, well, it would just force a 2. So that doesn't force a 1 there. Where's a nice place to do this? Maybe it is this bottom left area. One of these has to be at least there. Oh, and it can't go further. Ah, yeah, okay. It can't go further. So if one of these is at least to here, it can't go further, then we either have... Well, that is true. And this could split up into a 1 and a 2, and then that would be a 3. That would be fine. If this were a 1 and a 2... we leave this as a 3, and that would also be fine. So I've put in a thing here, but I don't know what to do with it. In fact, I'm going to take that out because it'll confuse me. It could even be 2 3s because they're just different 3 shapes. Okay. Okay. Once again, one of those in here can't go across that way unless it... Ooh. Yeah, this is slightly different to down here. Like this one couldn't come up here because then it would leave 2 1s, unless it's a T shape and just a single one. Yep, I'm wrong. That could still be open. What's the nice way of doing this? It's kind of like, it feels like it's kind of about figuring out which one of these is going to have the 1 and 2 in it, I guess. Like this can't be a 1 and a 2 here, because then that would have to be a... No, it could, because it could just be the 3. And this could be a big T shape, but then be another 1. Ugh. Intriguing. You can't be an L shape because you would leave 2 1s behind, but you could be that kind of shape with a 1 behind. But then how do I avoid 1s in some of these other ones? I mean, I can avoid a 1 here with 2 3s. Maybe the idea is that I literally can't do any 1s because it would cause there to be 1s in another one or something like that. That can't be true. Oof. So actually this top one's kind of interesting, especially considering this space. So if you're a 1, I'm just gonna do it with this. If you're a 1, then it's definitely possible to have a 3 and a 2. No, this isn't helping. Do this. Basically what I was thinking is that, like, oh, if I do that, then there's 2 1s left over. But we could do that and there's a 1 and a 2 left over. There's something mathematical here about like I keep finding these places where 1s and 2s would be left over. But clearly there's only one place where that's allowed. But somehow the other shapes that you can put in there help you determine that. How does one determine that? I mean, maybe some pencil marks would help, but I don't know. Does it feel like... I was going to say, does it feel like no matter what I do down here, there's going to be some singles left over? No. I don't think that's true anywhere. But there's going to be a way of cutting up all of these such that they don't leave 1 behind. That could be an L and a 2. This could be a 3 and a 3, although it can't. This could be a T and a 2. Obviously, 2 2s would be bad as well, but I have found a way of doing it without any 1s. This could be a 3 and a 3. If this is a 3 across, then do we have problems over here? No, because it could be a 2 and a T and a 2. Ooh, what is the nice way of doing this? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. This is definitely one that you could very quickly vibe solve, probably, but I'm trying to do it the other way. Are there any places where I can rule out it being a 1? If you're a 1. No, 2 and a 3, that's fine. If you're a 1. Oh, I think I can rule out that being a 1, maybe. If you're a 1. No, because it'd be 1, 2, and 3. That's fine as well. Is there anybody I can rule out for being a 1? If you're a 1. No, T-shape's fine. I mean, you can't be a 1. You must connect to somebody, but that doesn't help because it's 3 directions you can do. I guess I'm hoping to do this with an endpoint. Is there something here to do with... Okay, so there's 1 shape, there's 2 shape, there's 2 3 shapes. Oh, that is actually interesting. Okay, that is interesting. I think we do it like this. So there's 1 shape, there's 1 2 shape, there's 2 3 shapes. Let's put the numbers down as well. And then we can do a total. Ooh, there's something going on here, isn't there? Because it's going to be the small shapes. How many 4 shapes are there? Quite a few. What is it? Lits. L-I-T-S. Yeah, so 4. Is that right? Oh, no, 5 because of the O. Yeah. Okay. What's that going to mean? There's no way we're getting many 4 shapes into these places, maybe. Well, if we do lots of 4 shapes, then we end up with lots of 2s and 1s left over. So I think maybe we have... I've done this in a weird order. Those numbers should have been on top. Okay, what's the numbers we've got? We've got 6, 6, and 6. Interesting. So let's say we have a 1, 2, and a 3 somewhere. Then we have a 3 left over. And I can't make a 6 out of the rest. What? So maybe the 3s go together. 2 3s. A 4 and a 2. There's another 6. Then how do I make the final? Are we doing a 5 shape somewhere? Two 3s, a 4 and a 2, and a 5 and a 1. That's what we're doing. I've done it in a nice mathematical way, I think. Okay, but I'm still going to figure out where those all go. So there's a 5 and a 1 going somewhere. Maybe there's only one place where that can happen. I think it can't happen here, and it can't happen. No, it could happen here, and it can happen here. 5 and 1's can happen there. There might be only one place where 2 3s can happen, which is down here. Yes, because 2 3s over here would be like that. This is 2 3s. So then 5 and a 1, and a 4 and a 2. I know I could have done that just like visually without doing all that working out, but it was so much more satisfying for having done that. There was probably, I don't know, there might have been a better way to get there, but that mathy way ended up working. Neat. Okay, we'll leave it there, I think. Yeah, let's leave it there. That'll do for today. I really don't know how much progress I'm making on each area over here because I've just sort of gone all over the place at this point. Yep, just gone all over the place. I wonder if like there are puzzles that were updated. I wonder if they're now... Wait, do I see a puzzle there? Oh gosh, I see a puzzle there that's not done. Okay. Like puzzles that were updated, they count as done or not? Are there any like near the start that were updated? Probably not. There's probably any ones that didn't have unique solutions that have been changed. Like that whole thing, the whole ramble at the beginning, I don't want to go back into another ramble, but it is very odd, the concept that like you accept that these puzzles do have unique solutions, but that you're not supposed to use that when solving things. It's very odd, but you spend enough time thinking about it, you do understand the like the reasons for that. I promise. I was convinced. It took me a while. I remember the conversations on Discord and being like, yeah, but what about this? What about like these other games where like there are like non-unique solutions? Like, how do you explain that? Like, that's, I mean, there are absolutely games, even games that are very much in the logic puzzle space, that have non-unique solutions. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Just talking about like what the expectations are in the kind of logic puzzle community. Anyway, cool. That's enough today. I'll see you all next time, and we'll solve some more stuff somewhere. All right, goodbye.